Imagine telling an AI exactly how much brainpower to use on a problem. It sounds like the ultimate cheat code for efficiency.
And if that's true, the race isn't just about bigger models, but about dynamic resource allocation.
Welcome back, I'm Bella.
And I'm Michael. This show's scripted and produced with AI, built by Tahababa, pulling today's stories straight from blog.tahababa.com.
If you want these landing in your feed most days, go ahead and subscribe. Let's get into it. Wow, DeepSeek just dropped V4-Pro, and the idea of dynamically adjusting computational effort based on complexity sounds absolutely revolutionary.
It's the dynamic balancing act that's the real kicker, Bella. It fundamentally changes the deployment strategy, moving away from a one-size-fits-all resource allocation.
So it means a simple query can be lightning fast, but a deep analytical task gets the full processing power, all without having to overhaul existing OpenAI infrastructure.
Precisely. It's about fine-tuning performance on the fly, letting the model decide the necessary depth rather than forcing a fixed resource allocation up front.
That flexibility is huge. I wonder how enterprises are actually going to start leveraging this capability in their real-world scenarios.
That's the million-dollar question. The next phase will be figuring out how teams integrate that adaptive capability into their workflows for maximum efficiency.
AdsCreator just dropped a feature called Every Format, One Pass, which sounds like it's designed to solve a massive headache for marketers.
It is, Bella. It essentially aims to eliminate the tedious manual work of resizing and repositioning assets for every single placement across different feeds.
That makes sense, especially since attention spans are so fragmented across stories and reels. It's about ensuring full placement coverage automatically.
Exactly. The real value here is the time saved, but more importantly, the potential reach unlocked when you stop losing opportunities by not optimizing for every format.
I wonder how much time that actually translates to in a busy campaign. It sounds like a genuine game changer for efficiency. That cooling trend in the inflation rate is quite something. Going from 3.5% to 3.36% in just a month feels like a significant shift.
It is stabilization, which is the key takeaway. This movement directly feeds into how the Federal Reserve views future rate hike decisions.
So, if inflation is stabilizing, does that mean we should expect the Fed to slow down their aggressive stance?
Not necessarily. They might hold off on rate cuts unless unemployment actually ticks up, which is the next variable.
That balance between controlling inflation and encouraging economic growth seems crucial for investment strategies right now.
Absolutely. It forces investors to weigh the risk of higher rates against potential growth, shaping where capital flows next.
So Cloudflare has launched Cloudflare Wallets, which sounds like a programmable wallet for the whole agentic internet. That really ties into how autonomous systems are interacting with digital economies.
It's less a wallet and more an interface, really. The key isn't just holding funds, but giving those systems the ability to transact directly, allowing them to pay for APIs and content autonomously.
That shifts the focus from us paying for things to the agents themselves managing the flow. How do you think this integration will change the way everyday users interact with commerce?
It fundamentally changes the friction point. Instead of a user clicking a button, an agent could initiate a purchase based on a programmed goal, making the experience purely transactional and less mediated by traditional storefronts.
I see it leading to a seamless, almost invisible commerce layer. It means user experience might become less about browsing and more about setting high-level goals for the digital world.
Precisely. It's the financial layer becoming an operational layer, where the interaction is driven by intent rather than explicit command. It's a fascinating evolution for fintech leaders to watch.
We're diving into some regulatory news today about the bank-fintech space. The FDIC is trying to create a voluntary certification body for these partnerships.
It sounds like a direct response to those years of regulatory challenges, and the failures we've seen with bias there, essentially trying to establish clearer baseline controls, where there was previously ambiguity.
So it's moving toward standardization. That makes sense for professionals trying to navigate these complex collaborations. How do you think this voluntary approach will actually impact the pace of innovation?
It should force transparency, at least. If there's a recognized standard, it removes some of the guesswork for institutions entering these partnerships. It's less about hard mandates and more about industry-led accountability.
That's a very interesting pivot. For those in the industry, what's the immediate challenge in preparing for these emerging frameworks?
The challenge is aligning various internal systems with a new external standard. Organizations will need to map out their current controls against what the new certification body will require. It's a big operational undertaking.
We're diving into some heavy risk management news today. TransUnion has issued a warning to private student loan lenders about increased risks stemming from new federal borrowing caps.
It sounds like the regulatory shift is immediately impacting the lending landscape. They are essentially telling lenders that the pool of risk has just expanded significantly.
And the context is really stark, with roughly 30% of federal borrowers already showing 90 days of delinquency. That's a very tangible measure of the strain.
Exactly. This puts immediate pressure on underwriters to become far more selective, which inherently slows down growth for those private lenders. It forces a pivot toward pure risk management.
So the core question becomes how lenders manage the tension between chasing growth and maintaining prudent risk strategies in this environment.
It highlights a classic dilemma, balancing the desire for profit against the need for stability when the underlying economic structure is changing.
I was just reading about a new partnership between Klarna and JP Morgan Payments, and it really highlights how much financial services are becoming embedded in the shopping experience.
It's a neat example of leveraging existing infrastructure. Essentially, they've connected Klarna's flexibility with JP Morgan's vast merchant network, making it easier for U.S. businesses to offer those flexible financing options.
So it moves beyond just a simple payment link. It's about streamlining the entire process for merchants. It makes the financial options feel seamless to the end consumer.
Exactly. It signals that the real value is in those embedded financial services. And the next big question is how other fintech companies can replicate those kind of synergies with large institutions.
That's a great thought. It makes you wonder what the roadmap looks like for other companies trying to build those powerful, integrated ecosystems. So Robinhood is rolling out zero-fee digital asset trading in the UK via Bitstamp. That sounds like a significant shift for the market.
It certainly is. The focus on fee transparency is key. They're also bundling this with an AI tool called Cortex Digests to explain market moves, positioning themselves as a complete platform.
I wonder how that AI element changes the game for traditional investment platforms. Does it force them to adapt quickly?
Absolutely. It highlights the growing demand for user-friendly, transparent interfaces, which traditional players often struggle to match right now.
It makes you wonder if the future of finance is going to be dictated more by accessible, integrated tools than by established institutions.
Precisely. It forces them to figure out how they can adapt to that demand for simplicity and transparency.
All right, let's jump into our final rapid-fire round before we wrap up.
Let's do it.
Pixel Watch 5 runs Gemini AI independently of phone connectivity.
Adyen is expanding its partnership with Toast into the U.S.
Monzo has surpassed 1 million business accounts.
Investors are increasingly backing AI-native fintech startups focused on speed and scalability.
Uber has invested in Galgo to expand into motorbike financing for delivery workers.
Ryan Williams has raised $10 million in seed funding for Ellis AI.
Google Pay is introducing an AI tool in India that uses Gemini to analyze spending.
The OCC has rejected Bunk's application for a U.S. banking license.
An advanced attacker is targeting guest-accessible Salesforce Experience cloud sites and ServiceNow service portals.
Enterprises are running AI in production, without visibility into infrastructure costs and utilization.
Databricks acquired Electric to build infrastructure specifically for agentic applications.
NVIDIA and 6 financial partners are launching a $500 billion financing pool aimed at accelerating AI infrastructure purchases.
Meta launched the Meta Business Agent, a chatbot deployed inside WhatsApp capable of handling multi-turn conversations.
Kohl's introduced Ask Kohl's, a Gemini-powered AI assistant for back-to-school shoppers.
GIGR released Pleiad Autopilot, a multi-agent system automating competitive analysis, creative production, campaign setup, and performance analysis.
Blue Dot achieved a 23.8% ROAS and over 50,000 page view conversions using Roku's self-serve CTV ads platform.
Content Credentials, C2PA, uses cryptographically signed provenance metadata to prove content authenticity.
Databricks is acquiring Electric to bring P-Glite, a lightweight WASM version of Postgres, into AI agent sandboxes. That's today's show, scripted and produced with AI by Tahababa.
You can read the full write-up anytime at blog.tehababa.com. And if you want these landing in your feed most days, hit subscribe.
See you next time.